Hello and welcome back, and let's continue where we left. If you take a look on the screen here, you can see some fixture here. This is anti-torsion fixture for this uh, Guy Mast tower. So this is what you're heading to. I'll just show you a preview of what we're just about to create. So this thing is similar to this. Just show you a PDF file of this. So this is the anti-torsion fixture level. So we'll create 1 and 2. So the farmost is a little bit different from this one. So we will first of all creating this one only. Then the top one will create later on. So let me just switch back to Tekla structure. Now we have this in place. So we have some guidelines that will help us in creating this. So first of all, I have to delete everything so that we get started uh, from from the start, from a fresh start, for lack of a better language. So let me just delete everything here and delete everything. So we begin from point 0 so that you get to know what's going on here and how to come up with something similar to this. So let me just get rid of this first. So the key thing here, you have first of all to put some guidelines in place that you will follow in coming up with this particular thing. So those guidelines are these ones here. I created some lines here. So I'll also show you how you can create these lines here. These lines just to show you what to do and what the next step to jump into. Now we can also get rid of this, but I'll just demonstrate on how I came up with this. I came up with this way. Came at the bottom end here and created that line and brought it all the way up here at the center of this column here, right at the center here. So I just selected that column, that leg, and came here under edit and pick on points. So under the points, I pick at any position. So the moment I select on this, it will show me where this leg ends. So I snapped on that spot. So once I snapped on that spot, I'll be able to see that point. So I brought that line and snapped it here. So once I've done so, I right clicked and came to special copy here. Let me just undo this first of all so that you see whatever I'm talking about. So once I had brought this here, I had a right click and come to special copy and picked rotate, and I rotated that by copy. So if I click that, I'll be able to rotate, but my rotation point is off the mark. So what I can do, I can just go ahead and click undo that. So to do it, first of all, I have to define my rotation point afresh. And to do that, I have to zoom at the bottom end here and create a point at the center here. So the point I'm going to create, I'll pick points here and pick at any position and snap on that spot. Then pick only this point, right click and come to special copy and copy it up by a distance of maybe 200, just a point. So I'll use this point and this point to define my rotation point. So I'll go up or up here and pick the lines that I wanted to guide me or populate around. I'll select on this. So once I've selected on that, I'll right click and come to special copy and pick on rotate. So once I've selected on this and deactivated copy rotate command, I'll come at the bottom end here and define my rotation point here. This is my rotation point. I'll pick the line option instead of the Z option. So I'll pick here and define that end of my line and put number of copies I want at an angle of 120. So I'll zoom out so that we get to see how this get populated around. Let me just zoom out so you can see I have had copied this line like that. So I'm going to click copy and click copy. So you'll be able to see this populates around. And if I come to navigate and rotate and pick a rotation point by left clicking on at any location, I'll be able to rotate that and you'll be able to see we have that line populated around. So both lines passes at the center in both legs. So once you have this in place, and what we want to do, we want just to use these lines for the placement of the fixture profile. So of the fixture a steel profile. So let me just come to steel here, then come to steel beam there, then pick right there. Let me just snap on the center there, or just to be accurate, because I had already defined the length of these particular lines that reflects or matches the length of the steel member. So let me just select on it. You can see this is 4.2 1.42. This is a total length of the steel section that I had defined. So I'll just follow the same length. So I'll come here and select on that spot and come to this far end and click on that. So I have this member default, but this is not the intended steel profile that you want to use. So what I'm going to double click on that, then come and under profile here and pick on that button there. This will take me to the steel profile. From here, I'll be able to pick on the right steel section that I would prefer to use. So let me just minimize everything so that I'll be able to get whatever I want to use here clearly. Let me just minimize that, then scroll up, and I want to use a C section or a C profile here. I'll click on that plus sign, then come to PFC here and pick on that, and I want to use a PFC 150 and 10 millimeter thick. I'll pick on that. So once I've picked on that, I'll go ahead and click apply and give it an OK. So once I've given it an OK, I'll come here and I'll give it a node by clicking modify that still section here. You can see that, but the rotation, the alignment is not right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play with the orientation of this particular member by using these positions here. So I'll pick on rotate back, and that will be okay, not really okay. And pick on front and pick modify, and let me pick another option here, pick top and pick modify. So this might be correct. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try rotate this and pick attain rotation by left clicking, and we have this in place right at the center. So we can either leave it at where it is, or we can just bring it down somewhere here so that the top end flashes with our member, but we can just leave it as where it is. And now we have this member at the bottom end here. This member is, the length is 362. So this member and this member, the same section. So I'll come to steel here and pick on the beam, and pick from that spot and pick it from that spot. It's right at the center here. So I wanted the same arrangement here so that when we do any offset, it moves uniformly. So let me just double click here because this tends to be on the right position, and I prefer using the exact position where it is, because it passes right at the center as I would like it to be. So let me just select on it. So the moment to select on it, I'll be able to see the properties it has here on the position. You can see middle, top, and middle, top, middle, top, and middle. So let me just select this and apply the same properties of position here. So it's kind of the same, but the position itself is not on the best position as we would like it to be, but more the same. It will serve the purpose, and let's leave it at that spot. Now, if I turn it around like this, I'll be able to now place another member here. I'll be able to place another member here by coming to steel here and picking beam, and I want to snap right on top here, but I'm not able to see it clearly. So that's another factor that we need to consider by coming to rotate and pick rotate mouse, and we are not able to see it perfectly. That is the reason why I was preferring to bring it down so that we will be able to see everything clearly, but we can as well see it from here. So let me just come to steel, then pick steel beam here, then snap on that spot and zoom out, and move all the way to this particular spot. So that's where we are, and the orientation is not the best of our choice. So let's first of all change this section, because here we want to use an L profile. So let me double click on it, then come to the profile here and pick on that button. So the moment I click on that button, it will automatically take us to profile catalog. From there, we'll be able to pick the right profile, like the L profile. So let me just give some time to arrange everything here so that we'll be able to select the right profile of our choice. So let me just pick on the plus sign next to L profile like that. So once it opens, I'll be able to pick on this profile RSA here and pick on the 60 by 60, 60 by 60 by 6 would be the best for us. So let me pick apply and give it an OK. So once we've chosen that, we'll close. Then once click OK, the catalog will close automatically. Then come here and give a node or an OK by clicking modify. So we'll modify that. But if you see the orientation, we want the back to lie at the back of this particular C profile. So we'll turn it around at the position here. Under rotate, we'll click on that drop down arrow and pick on rotate. We have these more options, option 1, 2, 3, and 4. So pick below, then pick rotate. So you can see it has turned to the back. So we'll offset that way when we do everything, when we begin our connection. So let me just leave it at it is, and now begin try to push this forward. So once I'll select this and select this member and select this member also. So the reason why I'm selecting on this is because I want to give an offset of these members away from the center of the legs, or of the leg of this particular tower. So let me just come to view and come to come to view, come to rotate and pick rotate with mouse. Remember, you can also press Ctrl R and pick rotation point like that. So we want to offset this at a distance of something, but that will be relative to the diameter of this particular leg here. So if I double click on that leg here, you'll be able to see we have this is 76. So we likely our likely offset distance will be approximately a total of this. So let me just go ahead and select this once again, press Control, and now right click and come to Special Move. So once we click Move, the key section here, the most important thing here, once we've got taken the direction of offsetting this by using a move or copy command, but this section copy command might not work. A move command will work much better. So in this section, you have to consider the position and the direction of the z-axis. You can see at the bottom end here, you can see y is facing that side and the x is facing us. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to feed a dimension in the direction of y, but we'll prefix that dimension with a negative sign because we are moving in the opposite direction of y-axis. So let me just key in 10 there and start clicking move. So if we click move, you can see we are moving in the most wrong direction ever. So I'll come back and click and interrupt because I want to recheck the position of our x-axis. So what I'm going to do, I'm going once again to come back under view, then pick work plane and pick work plane tool. So to be sure of our direction, I'm going to place this work plane tool right at the bottom end here. So you can see the x-axis is facing that direction and y-axis is facing this direction. So we'll go up, we'll climb up slightly and come to our fixture here. So once we're still here selected, everything selected, let me first of all press Control and get rid of that line and pick this component here. So these members are still selected. So let me just say, reselect it once again. Now, the position of our XYZ is known. Now I'm going to right click and come to special move here and pick linear. So I'm going to use the y-axis in this case because we are moving the y-axis direction. So I will not prefix any dimension with a negative sign because we are moving the positive. So if I click move, I'll be able to move like that, like that. But until I see this edge is slightly off the edge of the mast tower leg. So let me just add another 10 because we'll use a plate right there to for connection. So there we are. And if I come to navigate and pick on rotated mouse and pick a rotation point, I'll be able to turn that around like that. So we are not done yet. What I'm going to do, I'm going to offset this member on the other end so that we'll be able to create a connection between the two effectively. So let me just double click on it or click on it and move it. just double click on it and move it. And to move it, we can use these position options here by coming to maybe left and click move. So if you move it, if you move left, that is the maximum it can move, but that is not the best way or the best position we like it to be on. So let me just pick my rotation point, and I want to use some move tools to move it physically to that direction. So I'll come to navigate, pick on that spot, click on that and turn it around like that. So I can as well use the same method that we had used to offset this, like move command. So let me just come here and right click and pick on move and pick linear, and we are moving on the opposite direction of y-axis. So I can prefix a dimension here like 5, and I can click move, and can move it gently like that, and you click move until we move away from that. So you can see that, remember, we are there. So it's we outside, it's back-to-back connection of the two. So and let's now, because here we will not place this fixture on this joint. So once we have this defined well like this, because this only just mirror this after we create a connection here, we can select everything here and move down probably. Let me press Control and select that, and select that. Right click and we'll move down probably by 18 millimeter, 1.8 millimeter against the z-axis. So I'll prefix my dimension 1800 downward. If I click on that, we've now come or moved away from this joint because we don't want any interference on this joint. So this fixture will be placed somewhere here, like we've done here. So I'll turn like that, and let's continue on the next presentation because we've moved quite beyond our time limit. And let's meet then. Bye bye. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And I hope you've learned something on how to get started in creating a fixture for a mast tower. Let's meet then. Bye bye.